Hey everybody, and welcome to another edition of Apartment Hunters CBF Field Personnel Edition. Carson and Laura here, and as you know, we have moved to Tokyo and started new lives to begin as Japanese language students at a school in Shibuya. And so we're excited about the opportunity to go out and find a place that we can feel comfortable and live over the next 2 years as we study to prepare for long-term work as CBF Field Personnel in partnership with the Japan Baptist Convention.
So when we start today, we're going to be looking at 3 different apartments, and we had to learn a little bit about the process of finding an apartment in Japan. First of all, you always go with a real estate agent. Apartment buildings do not have rental offices with someone in there that can just show you whenever you show up what the apartment looks like. So we're taking a real estate agent with us today, and we've been in conversation with him a little bit before about what we were looking for in an apartment. The lingo is a little different too. So whereas we would say we're looking for a 2-bedroom, 2-bathroom apartment in America, the lingo is a bit different. So we start with the number, which is the number of bedrooms we're looking for. We're looking for at least 2 bedrooms in an apartment. And then there are 3 letters that come after that, LDK, and that stands for living, dining, and kitchen, because most Japanese apartments have one large space that's for your living room, your dining area, and then also the entry into the kitchen. And so those are some of the basic things that we're looking at. We also have to learn how to get an idea of how big the apartment is, because they measure differently as well. Japanese homes traditionally had straw mats called tatamis. They're roughly 3 feet by 6 feet mats, and that is how they measure rooms. Even though some apartments don't have tatami anymore, and it's regular flooring that's used, that's still their basic unit of measurement. So we have to learn what it means when they say a room is 6 tatami mats. Kind of get an idea of what size that means. So we're learning a lot as we go as well.
Some other things that are important to us as the location of the apartment. The realtor's done a great job of finding 3 different apartments that are on one of the same train lines as the place that we'll go to school. And so we're interested in seeing how far it is to the train stations from the apartment, what's going on in the neighborhood. Are there places that we can do some shopping? We don't plan on having a car, maybe even a bicycle, so places that we can easily walk to as we kind of make our home in Tokyo. So we're excited about getting out today. The first place that we're going to go is an area called Akabane, and this apartment's going to be on the 12th floor. We've been told it's very modern. It's going to be a 2 LDK, so we're going to kind of see what that feels like. We're looking at 2 and 3 LDK today. So as we say in Japanese, ikimashou. Let's go.
Let's go. Okay, so we just saw the first apartment, which was beautiful. You could tell that it was newly remodeled, had beautiful light gray walls, which you don't often see. Most of the walls you've seen are just regular white papered walls. And so it was a really nice apartment. Great view of Tokyo and the LDK section of the apartment. And the area of Akabane is a great area to be in for shopping and other conveniences. We could see the train station from the corner of the street from our apartment, so it would be about a 4 to 5 minute walk, which isn't too bad.
Yeah, super modern, great view. Space is limited. That's something that's important, I think, to both of us, is having enough space for the luggage that we brought over, for obviously for people that come to visit, for ourselves, just to feel comfortable daily. Space is an issue there. The kitchen has next to no space right above the kitchen sink. It's an open concept kind of feel, but you lose a whole lot of space there. When we put a refrigerator in the kitchen, it's going to be next to none. And then storage space across the apartment, very minimal. Bedrooms are small. space is an issue in this apartment. So I'm interested in seeing what the next place is going to look like.
So next we're going to go a little further into the city. This will be the closest place to our language school. It's an area called Jujo, and we're going to see a 3 LDK apartment. So it should be a little bit bigger than the last one we saw. We'll see how it goes.
See you there. All right, so we just saw the second apartment, and I kind of really liked it. Tons of space. I know that was something I was interested in the last apartment. Space on top of space in this apartment. Closets that I think that you could lose people in for days. So really big for a Japanese apartment. But even better, the Japanese room was unbelievable.
Yes.
So great tatami room, really large tatami room with paper windows and doors. It was unbelievable. Maybe even to top that off was the view. So 10th floor of this building, and you're looking out, and off to the left you can see Skytree, which is the second tallest freestanding structure in the world. And then kind of in the mid view you would have Tokyo Tower, which is the old kind of tower in Tokyo. Kind of looks like the Eiffel Tower. You can see the big business district of Shinjuku off in the distance. And then we were told, even though it was hazy today, so we couldn't confirm, we were told that on a nice day you can see Mount Fuji. So I'm just imagining myself sipping some Japanese tea in my tatami room with my paper windows and looking out and seeing Mount Fuji. I mean, just unbelievable idea that could be my reality.
Yeah. On the other hand, you could tell, especially compared to the first apartment, this was an older style apartment, has not been remodeled recently, to the point where they still had some old worn carpet in the bedrooms, which I did not love. But probably the biggest negative for us is that when we walked outside and looked around the neighborhood and even drove around the neighborhood, we did not see anything but other apartment buildings and houses. So no grocery stores. It was going to be close to a 10-minute walk to the train station every day. So even though it was the closest one on the line, it was going to take us longer to get to the train station every day. And just didn't feel like the area itself is really convenient. So when we're going to be walking all the time, not having within eyesight or within a few blocks of, a grocery store, a drugstore, that definitely was a big negative for us.
So we've seen two. You got one more. We're going to a neighborhood called Ukima Funado, which is not a well-known neighborhood necessarily in Tokyo like the two that we have been in so far, but it's on the same train line to get to Shibuya, and we're interested in kind of seeing what's going to be there. It's a 3 LDK, kind of like what we just saw. We think by kind of looking at the renderings, it's a little bit smaller, but we're interested in seeing what we're going to get there, so we'll see you there.
Okay, so we just saw the third apartment that we were going to be shown today. It was really good middle ground between the first two apartments we saw. It was bigger than the first, but a little smaller than the second one. Still an older apartment, but had hardwood flooring all through the space, which actually makes it look pretty nice. Still had a tatami room. No paper windows, which give it that extra traditional feel. We still will have that tatami space that you don't always find in some modern apartments. Probably the best part that really impacted us was just the neighborhood around us. We are next door to a beautiful park and green area, which is going to be a really nice respite from the big city life that we're going to be living here. So the fact that we have that next door, we'll have a place to exercise, watch the cherry blossoms, really, really nice area. We also were able to see a lot of different conveniences along the way in our neighborhood, or our immediate area. So we're a 2-minute walk from the train station, which cuts our commute down. Even though it's a little more time on the train, it's a little further north, we don't have far to go to get to the train station. There's a supermarket there, tons of restaurants. We even have a 7-Eleven on the basement of our apartment floor. So the conveniences of the area are definitely drastically different than the last one we saw.
And we haven't talked price points, but it is by far the cheapest of the three as well, so that's very attractive to us. Some of the drawbacks, it is smaller, especially than the one we just visited. It's bigger than the first one, for sure. You have kind of the extra room, but it is still a bit smaller. The kitchen definitely has some limitations. It only has 2 burners rather than 3 burners, which makes it a little harder to cook in there. The kitchen space is going to be a little bit smaller. We're going to have to be imaginative in some ways with furniture as well. But yeah, I think it's a pretty intriguing. It does feel like the oldest of the three. But I think we're gonna have a hard decision ahead here.
We've got to think about some
we're
things,
gonna have to think about some things. So we'll let you know. Alright, so we've seen all 3 of the apartments, and we're going to apply for the third one, the one here, right beside a beautiful park. There's a great lake, there's a windmill, so you don't expect to see that in Japan, but it's literally right beside the park. There's a 7-Eleven, there's a gyoza dumpling place right here, so we're really excited and hope that we get this apartment.
Yeah, we're excited. This is our new neighborhood.